Hello, everyone! Welcome to the Forest of Memories. I'm Zaruk Windcaller, your guardian, High Remembrancer, Arbiter, Reminiscing Bard of Twilight, and General. Hope you're all doing well tonight. Welcome back to Master of Command, the game where you, yes, you, take command of an army during the 7 Years' War. It's been a while since we got back, well, it's been a week at least, and I love this game, so I wanted to check it out. And yes, for those who did not see the post on social media or on the Discord, we have a new redeem now. It's in the channel point section. You'll have to find it. But when you do, well, you'll know it when you find it, if you find it. And when you do, or not when y'all find it, well, you'll see. But for now, we're going to pick up where we left off. As y'all know, we've been playing as the French. So, there it is. All right, hang on. All right, there it is. Hang on. All right, hang on. Where's my thing real quick? So let's turn this off and then turn this on. So this lovely design was created by Michael11. Say hello to French-made Zaruk. Complete with the smug Jetstream Sam grin. Not bad, huh? The moment I saw it, I knew what must be done. My time has come. Yeah, well, it's there. It's here for 10 minutes. So once 10 minutes are up, I'll switch back. You deny your maid dress its purpose. Hey, I'll have you know I look damn good in this outfit. Thank you very much. And before anyone asks, because I know someone's going to be like, wait, I thought Zaruk is a guy. Yes, I am. But I can change my body to any size or shape. So if I'm going to wear a maid outfit, I might as well look the part, right? And, I mean, come on, it looks good on me. And yes, Amina does agree. So, that'll stay up for a bit. In the meantime, you deny your maid dress its purpose. I see. You deny your weapon its purpose. All right, so here we are again. I don't remember what region we're in anymore, but like that matters. So, as y'all know, we got the absolute piss kicked out of us. That seems to be a recurring thing in this campaign. So we're going around trying to complete these bonus objectives and make some money so we can, well, get more soldiers. So we need to find some encampments and then secure some convoys. Thankfully, there's 3 convoys over here, which is great. Is there another one nearby? No, not really. Oh, there's one up there, but I'm not going up there. Let's get walking. Now, we are going to forage as we move along, mainly because, well, we have so many dudes that we need to keep feeding them, and, well, food is a bit of a luxury at the moment. Thanks, Demon Goddess. A wounded nobleman. Treat his wounds. And we got another officer. So, here's the thing. You don't need more officers if you don't want them, but the problem is your officers can die, and having backup officers is usually a good thing. So, let's stop in town and see if we can sell anything. Actually, wait, before I do that, what do we have? Not a lot, honestly. So, for those who don't know how this game works, maybe you've never seen it before, allow me to explain. Basically, you are in command of an army during the 7 Years' War. This is where the British and the Prussians well, the Prussians fought everyone, and the British were backing them up. So we're currently playing as the French right now. The French in this game specialize in mass waves, like having overwhelming numbers. And then they also specialize in heavy cavalry. Everything else is so-so. And our logistics are god-awful, so that's why I said food was at a bit of a premium. So, I finished building a whole-ass forest, an archery range, a stable, and a giant fucking tree for a friend as her Valentine's Day present. And now I need to just flop. Well, you can flop in the forest then, and just relax. Yeah, Foxboy, it's a new redeem. Mike made this outfit, and yeah, it's up for 10 minutes. So, right now, my plan is we do have... Let me go over what we've got. So, we have 3 units of heavy cavalry and a group of light cavalry, but it's mostly heavy cav, along with some snipers, some fusiliers, who will become sharpshooters after a while. So I need to get them really accurate weapons. The best weapon for that would be a British musket, but their range is really poor, so we'll have to work on that, especially if they're going to be snipers. In the 1st Brigade, we have our veteran fusiliers, like our line infantry, who, again, have okay weapons, and their bayonets are awful, but I don't exactly plan on putting them in melee combat. And then finally, we have our 3rd Brigade, which is our grenadiers, who are going into melee combat, and one of our cannons. So we need to get another cannon unit if we can, but to do that, we need to get a new brigade, and we don't have the money for that right now. Yes, and old Fritz, for those who don't know who Bow and Terror is talking about, that's Frederick the Great, the leader of Prussia. Frederick the 7 Years' War is most famous because of Frederick. The fact that wherever, almost everywhere, not everywhere, but almost everywhere where Frederick went, he would win a battle. Now, he didn't win all of them. He actually lost a good number of them too, but he understood the meaning of live to fight another day. Let's see. Yeah, we're good on this front. So we don't have a lot of stuff right now. I bought us some more ammunition. I'll buy us some more dudes because we're going to need them. I think we're good to leave for now. Let's keep going. So, hello. Where are you going? Come here. All right, this is a patrol army. We do outnumber them, but they do have some advantages. Mostly in the cannon department. They've got, yeah. So we have them beat in cavalry and in infantry, but they've got us beat in cannons. So we'll have to be careful about that. There's also another problem. These are British veteran foot infantry. The British infantry in this game, they're not the most disciplined. That would be the Prussian infantry, but these guys are no joke. I mean, I beat the campaign on my first ever playthrough with these guys. So, yeah, we need to be careful. See, they've also got some subsidy troops and some Brunswickers. Okay. Not really worried about them. These guys I'm a bit worried about. That's Frederick, by the way, carrying the banner. And yes, you can thank Frederick for why potatoes became such a big thing in Germany. It's because of him. And as epic rap battles of history joked, I'm Frederick the Great, out the gate first servant of state, oblique attack tactics and exactly straight. And no, he wasn't. He was a very he was gay. He was gay, but he couldn't show it. For those who don't know the story of poor Frederick the Great's boyfriend, the short version is that when his father found out that Frederick was dating a dude, his dad threw Frederick in jail and basically had guards hold Frederick's face to the bars and watch as they executed the boyfriend. So, yeah, Frederick the Great's dad was kind of a dickhead. All right, let's see. All right, so we're going to put all of our cavalry together. And they don't have cavalry, which means we basically have full control of the battlefield. We can attack whenever we want with our cavalry, because they didn't bother to bring their own. Yeah, Foxboy's right. The simplified version is that, yes, he put Frederick through hell. All on the guise of making him manly. Because, you know, it's not like Frederick wasn't manly enough being a master tactician or anything. Nope. Hey, Izzy, how you doing? All right, and that's our 10 minutes, so I'm gonna... And where's my thing here? There it is. I'm back. So yeah, let me put it this way. Good morning. I just got up. Well, I hope you slept well at least. So let me just give it to you guys this way. If at any point you hear anyone, especially in today's world, talk about, you know, warrior culture or being manly, remind them that one of the greatest tacticians and strategists in history was gay as hell, and he did just fine. So, because yeah, Frederick turned out fine. All right, let's see. So, Yep, the right flank has our grenadiers on it, and the center and the left have our veteran fusiliers. I'm gonna have our basically our snipers run alongside the grenadiers because, well, the problem is they may be snipers, but their range is middling thanks to this British weapon. But hey, I'd rather have accuracy than long range. We can set up our artillery too. Well, actually, no, because we want to advance. So we're gonna move our artillery over to this hill. That'll be good. All right, so we want to take this position here, and so we can start using the cannons. Meanwhile, our cavalry will get moving over here. Yes, the whole idea of manly warrior culture is really stupid. Fun fact, that's actually why a lot of very important names have been taken off American naval ships, because the current head of the current Secretary of Defense thinks that names like Harriet Tubman, Cesar Chavez, and things like that are not warrior enough. Hey, here's another quick tip for people, just my opinion here, but if you've never served in the military, your opinion doesn't really mean shit when it comes to fighting men and women. Maybe you should keep your mouth shut, just saying. Anyway, enough about that. We don't do politics here. If it's historical stuff, then that's fine, but we don't talk modern politics here, because otherwise I'm gonna get very upset. Now, we could form... Actually, we should form into assault column, shouldn't we? So, let's talk formations for a second. An assault column... Or, sorry, an attack column. Basically, back in the old days, you'd think that moving a bunch of guys in a straight, like, lined up would be pretty easy. Turns out it's not. And to keep guys in that formation would make them very slow. So, there's column formation, where you basically line up vertically. Like, line up, you know... Kind of like in a, so here's an example. This is line. This is a line, and if it was a column, it would be more vertically, it'd be more narrow, like, vertically. And that means guys can march faster. Whereas in a line, they have to keep in line with each other so it slows everything down. But an attack column is a bit different. An attacking column is where you get the guys tightly grouped together and just tell them to move. And it's actually pretty good for, well, charging. Because as you can imagine, yeah, if your guys are all grouped together and then they go charging at someone like in a mass, it actually is more effective. Yes, that's right, Bo and Tara. I did do a short on that. The back during Pride Month. Yeah, I talked about the Sacred Band of Thieves who defeated the Spartans, and the Sacred Band of Thieves was 300 gay men, so 150 male couples beat down on the Spartans. Though I should point out, being gay in ancient Greece was nothing new. To quote Red from Overly Sarcastic, what's manlier than two men? That's literally how they viewed it. What's manlier than two men? Hey, Dino King. Now, we have to be careful. Attacking column does mean that your guys are very vulnerable to cannon fire, so we need to be careful. But, well, we won't have to worry about the cannons for long. I just need them to hold long enough for the cavalry to get into position. Unlimber the guns. You may fire when ready, Gridley. Yeah, we're getting the worst of it. So, might need to move up a bit. Give him something else to shoot at. Because right now, we're getting the worst of it. And otherwise, the AI will just sit there and keep shooting cannonballs at us. Ooh, that looked like it hurt. you guys are idiots. This is why you want to have the cavalry advantage, because naturally the enemy will try to move a group to counter you, but if you've got more than one cavalry unit, well, now they have to pick. Do you shoot the heavy cavalry, or do you shoot the light cavalry? Pick. Too little, too late, gentlemen. Bayonets, get them. Yep, I knew that was going to happen. Bye-bye. Yeah, we want to shatter these units. We do not want them to come back, so... Alright, cavalry's gone, or cannons are gone. So now we basically have full reign over the battlefield now. And just like that, the right flank collapses, one of their leaders is dead, and yep, I basically turned this around. And while these guys struggle to catch us, the cannons are just going to keep shooting at them. In fact, maybe we can move our... Yeah, let's move up these Fusiliers and take some pot shots. Yeah, it's over. You guys are done now. Yeah, they're done. It's over. Surprise, surprise! Getting charged from behind by psycho, bunch of psycho soldiers swinging sabers and stomping you with horses is not good for your morale. Yep, take him out of melee, and, well, that's about it. That's all she wrote. Yeah, they're done. Yeah, the cavalry's exhausted, but hey, we basically shattered that whole army. The only guys left are over here duking out with the marksmen. Which is fine. The marksmen get experience, and so do the cannons. Might have to get a little closer. Hold first. Well, I forgot you guys are on independent. Hang on. Move a little bit closer. Problem is we're using musket, so accuracy is kind of a bleh point. Of course, it's equally difficult for them because they need to fully reload their muskets before they do a volley. But we don't have that problem. These guys are basically light infantry. They fire whenever they load their weapons, so... While the cannons are, while we literally have cannons shooting these guys, our light infantry are literally picking them off. Also, I should mention, when I said the British were really disciplined, I meant it. Because, back during this time period, if you were dumb enough to be drafted into the British Army, and then you were dumb enough to try to break ranks and run because you were scared, well, you better hope your sergeant's not nearby, because if he is, he's got a halberd and he's going to stab you with it. Like, the sergeants would literally walk the lines during battle, keeping men in order. So, yep, individual targets, fire at will. Yep. Now, granted, a volley is still devastating, even if we're in cover, but every time our guys shoot, they're getting a kill, so well worth it. Get back here, or I'll stab you. Yeah, basically. I don't know why that got blocked by Twitch's thing, but yeah, basically yes. But to be fair, sergeants got paid a lot of good money back then. So, and if you were not nobility or were not a high, not from a noble family, then being a sergeant was not a bad idea. You got paid more, you got better respect, but you were expected to do more, obviously. Yeah, they're about to, yep, there they go, they're breaking. There we go. I mean, I don't know. I think it was Frederick the Great who said it's a good thing that the average soldier is uneducated, because if they were, then none of them would stay in the army. All right, let's see. We want money. Money. Now, thankfully, we have two things that help us out. One, that was actually a pretty good battle, and we didn't lose a lot of guys. But what's also nice is that we have the field hospital perk. So 15% of our losses get restored after a battle, as our guys, getting medical treatment. A 2nd Brigade. Charge. Veteran. Yeah, let's go with a charge. Better charge. Always good for horses. All right, for these guys to become sharpshooters, yeah, they got to get a lot of experience. I wonder if this would be... Huh. I don't think it really matters, but I'd much rather them be, have a bit more range on them, so that's fine. Got a lot of stuff to sell, too. I want to get their morale up, too, because low morale means that they break really easily. Let's see. Do I have anything that can boost their act? Well, not... Yeah, actually, we do. Here we go, a cover bonus. Now, if I could find... I'll have to buy some, I think. But if we could find obstacles for them to use, that means they'll bring their own cover with them, which would be great. All right. That was a good victory. Still, we need to keep moving, because that army is actually hunting us. So, we need to keep moving. Yeah, what we thought was a patrol, but those guys are actively looking for us. And winter is here. The cold season is set in, and it will not lift until we've taken the region. Snow and frost now blanket the land, and our provision consumption has increased, and visibility and movement speed have decreased. The winter's quarters malice is now in effect and will remain for the duration of the season. So now we eat more, we move less, and we can't see very far. I don't have any men to give them. This is usually not a good idea. Hang on. Let's see. You normally, there's 2 negative effects in this town. So they don't really want to... So it actually hurts us in the long run. But I need money. We've got plenty of stuff to sell. So we've got the money. So I don't mind buying a few more guys. Oh, for Pete's sake. I don't know if y'all heard that. Somebody's gonna get killed doing that. My new apartment is right next to is very close to a highway, and I always hear people screaming by like that, and somebody's gonna get killed at some point. Ah, nice, some Jaeger rifles. Not good quality too. Not the best. That would be excellent quality, but a Jaeger rifle is still really good. The best accuracy and range. Very poor reload. Like I care. What else we got? Some Sewell muskets. Neustadt muskets. Some better bayonets. It's excellent reload, poor charge. Excellent melee and poor range. That's fine. Yoink. Right. Are you possibly selling any cannons or anything? Oh, you are, but not really anything. What about defenses? Wooden stakes. Shove to freeze. Not bad, but it's not the best either. But, you know, quartered musket balls. Let's see. Hang on, let me see. You know what? Yeah, I'll take those. And I'll take that too. It burns through our ammo, but hey, it's better than nothing. Yeah, I think we're good for now. Let's give the give these these rifles to our guys, and then give them these this stuff we picked up. So here's some better cartridge boxes, some ammunition, and then here are those defenses I told you about. There you go. That'll help them a lot. All right, what else we got? Let's see. Lamp-powder musket, good accuracy. No, you guys aren't going to be doing a lot of shooting, though. That's the thing. There, take that. There's another one. We basically want to give our grenadiers good melee equipment because they're basically going to be charging, so... All right, as for our rest of our guys... All right, you've got a good musket. You could use a better one. Good range, poor reload. That'll work. Ironic. Well, actually, it's not that ironic. That the all around best gun, just all around wise, is the German one, because it's just got good. It doesn't have any drawbacks. Its primary thing is that it's got good accuracy. Like, you know, that's its buff. So it's not as good as all the other things and all the other muskets as everything else, but who cares? It doesn't have any negative attributes, which is good. All right, let's see. What about cover bone? No. See, the main thing is that I'm not really worried about our infantry. Their job is just to stand there and take it. It's the cavalry and the grenadiers that are going to win us the battle. So, oh, you guys can level up. Oh, nice. Field artillery. Very nice. Field artillery are just more veteran crews. They're more accurate. They've got better, you know, they're experienced now. Do I have anything that would improve you? Not really. It's fine though. I'm basically spoiling my cavalry, but I don't really have a choice because I need to. All right, they're literally gonna make or break us a lot of these battles. All right. That army's still on our tail, so let's see if we can't move a little bit faster. What element would you associate with war? Fire or lightning? Fire. Because fire, like war, here's the thing. The reason I see it that way, lightning strikes and is usually, when lightning strikes, it can be devastating, but again, it rarely strikes. Fire, if fire gets out of control, it consumes everything. That's like war. If you don't keep a leash on war, it quickly devolves into nothing but barbarism and slaughter. So yeah, fire is a way better representation of war. Let's see. Escort them to safety. Yeah, it's fine. We can help them out. And we need to turn around and go back to that convoy, but we've got a battle in our way. So there's an encampment up there, too. Where's that? Oh, they're over there. Bring it, you purple-headed Nancy boys. All right, what are they? Oh, that's a... Whoa, that's a lot of artillery. Oh, boy. That's a lot of guns. Okay. So I guess they heard me joke in the last battle where I'm like, they didn't bring any artillery, they didn't bring any cavalry or anything. They just brought a lot of guns that I can get rid of. And they said, okay, I guess basically said, right then, you French bastard. And they brought 4 units of artillery and 3 units of cavalry. And some grenadiers. Oh boy. Okay, so right. So here's where the British play to their strength. The British forces in this game are basically a small cadre.
Stop right there, criminal scum! Nobody breaks the law on my watch.
How have I broken the law?
Confiscating your stolen goods. Now pay your fine, or it's off to jail.
Okay, so here's the deal. The British forces in this game, and by extension during this time period, are basically a small cadre of elites. Their men may be few in number, but they make up for it with discipline and hard training. Like, to put it in perspective, my standard line infantry have 1,600 men in a unit. Theirs have 1,200. So they have a quarter less than we do. But the trade-off is that pound for pound, their guys are better, usually. These guys look like they're fresh off the boat. So probably not veterans like my guys are. But the Grenadiers are no joke. And neither are those guys. Okay. They brought Highlanders. Oh boy. Insert, there can only be one here. No, Highlanders are no joke. The Highlanders are scary because these are literally Scotsmen. And the Scots know how to fight. So, yeah, breaking them is going to be difficult. Like, we're going to have to really pour it on. Because, like, to give you an idea, like, one of the lowest guy I have, is the Fusiliers, but they're light infantry. Of course, they're going to be kind of scared. But my veteran line infantry, the lowest guy's got 48 morale. Their standard foot infantry has 50. The Highland Grenadiers have 60. So, yeah, they're no joke. If you hear oh, fuck, they're in kilts, yes. Yeah, come on, you British dogs, come get some. I sense I've made a mistake. Yeah, they brought a lot of cannons. However, that is where the weakness is. Because if those cannons get taken out, that's a whole chunk of their army that goes bye-bye. However, the other issue is that they brought Hessian cavalry. Now, it's heavy cav, which is fine, because my guys have 2 units of heavy cav. Well, 3 units of heavy cav, technically. They have 2 units of heavy cav and 1 unit of light cav. So, but the problem is because we're equal on the cavalry front, that means we need to win the cavalry fight. If we lose it, then we basically give full control of the battlefield to them. So I need to make sure that, so we have 2 options. Either move opposite their cavalry so we don't have to worry about it, or move against it so we can counter it. And if we don't win against it, like basically it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. If I ignore them, they'll tear into my infantry. But if I fight them and lose, then that's even worse, because now we've lost our cavalry completely. I also don't want to just sit still and wait, because when they've got, oh boy, that's a lot of guns. That's a lot of guns. Yeah, that's a lot of guns. Okay. You mocked the British and they came packing. Yes, I promise I'll never insult the king's men ever again. Actually, no promises on that. Let me think. Okay, well... Again, I don't want to wait, because if we sit and wait for them... Well, actually... If we wait, then they have to come to us, which means the guns have to get into range, which is going to take some time. And our cannon does outrange theirs. But the problem is that if we basically let them maneuver, they can basically, well, advance on the battlefield however they want, which is usually never a good thing. You never want to give control of the whole battlefield to your enemy. But in this case, I think I can make an exception. Mainly because, well, first of all, I need to find out where their cavalry's going. Okay. We're also going to use the terrain to our advantage. There's plenty of places to take cover here, and that's going to help us out in the long run. Yeah. All right. Let's see. First brigade. Let me move everything. So 2nd Brigade over here. And our Grenadiers are on the right. As always, the right is reserved for the place of honor, which is where your elite infantry always go. So we're going there. 1st Brigade takes the center, as usual, and is probably going to get the piss kicked out of them, but hey, that's what they're there for. And then the cavalry... Well, this is where it gets interesting, because with the cavalry... Oh, yeah, also our light infantry. The light infantry is going to be up front, probably taking pot shots, or moving around, depending on the situation. But the cavalry is a bit more of a different story, because I don't know where their cavalry's going. And until I know that, I can't really move. So we'll hang tight for now. All right. 1st Brigade. Okay, I want 1st and 2nd, I want 1st and 2nd Regiment to take up positions in the trees. Yeah, that'll work. Trees will offer good cover. 3rd and 4th Regiment can take up positions here on these, here in this farm field. I want our sharpshooters in this little farmstead ready to move. And then our Grenadiers can move up on the right. Over here in the woods and get ready to move as well. The cannon's fine where it is. And our cavalry, we'll see. Yeah, the guns are already unlimbered, so we're fine. That's true. Andrea is right. Sometimes letting your enemy control the field means letting them move into prepared positions, but you also don't want to let them just do whatever they want. Because if they have control over the full battlefield, then that means they can move wherever they want, and they may not move into your prepared positions. But I want to see what their cavalry does. Hang on. I want the gendarmes, gendarmes to go over here to the right. The gendarmes are my most elite cavalry at the moment. So I want to hold on to them. What are they doing? They may not even use the cavalry. They may keep the cavalry in the rear to protect the cannons, which would also be smart. Let's try a little something. The hell? Okay, those are those are Grenadiers. All right. Okay. We need to be a bit careful then. See, ordinarily, I wouldn't have any problem charging, but Grenadiers are no joke. Grenadiers know how to fight in melee, and I really don't want to risk our guys getting ripped up. So, speaking of which, they're actually sending the Why are you sending the Grenadiers first? You're not Prussian. The Prussians would throw their Grenadiers out front, but no, this is the British. Why would you do that? Hang on, adjust. They might try to flank us. Ah, screw it. Fire. All right, we might need to make some holes in a second. I want to see what they do. All right, Yeah, they're stretching their line, so my cavalry can't move very well. That's okay. All right, now the cannons are firing at us. I see you. Where do you think you're going? Fire into that horde right there. But sir, fire now! Alright. Yeah, like I said, Highlanders don't break. So they're fighting pretty damn hard over here. Alright, broken. Pull back. They shattered, which is good. And we broke one of their cavalry units, which is better, even better. Nope. Keep going. We need to get to the guns. Ah, it's just they got me pinned. Gotta keep... I'm trying to survey everything. Alright. No more waiting around. Let's go. That'll do it. Kinda. Yep, there they go. That'll do it. That's Hessian Cav. Alright, they're breaking. Here comes the next one, though. Gotta break them, too. Alright, we got him. Alright, let's go. With the cavalry retreating, now we can rip up the guns. Oh, this has been costly. Even if we do win, like, I never like seeing the bar drop that much. What the hell was that? Oh, that was the cannons, okay. Okay. They're done. Let's get the cavalry out of here. Because if the cavalry takes too much damage, they'll break and run. And then if we lose them, well, they're really hard to replace. So I'd rather we not. But now the tables have turned. So now we can actually do a bit more fighting. So let's swing our lines out a bit and actually start fighting back. Get the cavalry out of here. Those are Highland Grenadiers. That's the group we broke first. They're hurt, but they're still here. And that's a Highland foot unit, so they're still pretty fresh. So this is going to be a little bit more difficult than I thought. Especially if they charge. Because if they charge, then I have to send the cavalry back in. Yep, they're going to try it. Go. Get in there. We need to save our units. Yeah, these are tough bastards. They don't want to break. All right, that unit broke, which is good. There we go. Okay. Whew. Costly. Costly. Oh, come on! Did it just... Please tell me it didn't just crash. It just crashed. Yeah, Master of Command is not... Are you kidding me? What, did I win too hard? Really? Really? Y'all can't see it. I literally have a thing that says Master of Command.exe is not responding. So I'm going to take that as I won too hard. Yep. Okay, let me get the game back up. Damn it. Well, in all honesty, I'm cool with us winning that, but honestly, I really would rather not fight it again because that was costly, and I don't like costly battles. As the saying goes, quoted by the great Pyrrhus, another victory like that and we're undone. Because that was costly. I hated that. Yeah, another victory like that, and I'm undone. Because for those who don't know, Pyrrhus, or Epirus, Pyrrhus of Epirus was the guy who beat the Romans twice, but he lost, but every time he lost, he took just as much damage. So that's where the term Pyrrhic victory comes from. All right, well, let's not. Bye. See if we can lose them. All right, cool. All right, let's see. Your Grace, we've we've located a guarded convoy hauling prisoners, bound men in chains, gaunt and silent. If we strike swiftly, we may seize them and decide their fate. They could be pressed into service as cannon fodder, though it may require oversight to keep them in line. Shall we engage? Take on the volunteers, because I need the manpower. Oh, shit. Yeah, that didn't last long, did it? Can we outrun them? Maybe, if we get to the roads, maybe we can. Or not. Damn it, there's another one. Alright, well, this one's a Jaeger unit. This is a subsidy force. Yeah, primarily mercenaries or subsidies. But it does have a core of British units and then a lot of British cab. Ooh, the Dragoons. Okay. Ew. That's not good. So, the Dragoons. Okay. Here's the thing about Dragoons. Dragoons are not the Final Fantasy enemy. If that's what anyone's thinking. I know you are. Dragoons are mounted infantry who can dismount and fire their they basically have carbines with them. And if need be, they can get off their horses and move on foot to another position and then mount back up. But they're basically mounted ranged cavalry. So in this game, they'll charge. When they charge, they fire their weapons when they're charging into an enemy. Or they can just harass. They can ride around, take pot shots, and then charge in when they're done. Light Dragoons, normal Dragoons, and the Dragoon Guard. Okay, so I should probably explain the whole guard thing. In the British military, a guard unit, like Foot Guard, Highland Guard, Dragoon Guard, the guard term is given to an elite unit. Basically, those guys are basically the best of the best. So if they're here, if a Dragoon Guard unit is here, oh boy. And this time they've got the cavalry advantage. We actually have the cannon advantage with one gun. But we do have the cavalry advantage. So I think what we're going to do is have our cavalry and the grenadiers on the right. And again, our light infantry and our line infantry hold the center, basically hold the center and the left. I may not have a brain, gentlemen, but I have an idea. We can get the cannons right to this hill. That'd be a perfect position for them. It is a little exposed, but we can make it work. All right, pause. All right, 1st Brigade. Interesting. If we move fast, hang on, if we move quick, Yeah, that'd be a great position if we could get to it. Hopefully we can. Because, yeah, taking that hill would be great for the cannons. Plus, we'll be right on top of the enemy, which will be even better. But we got to get there. Quickly. All right, and the Grenadiers. As always, you guys are on the right. And I want the cavalry to go with you. Now, this is risky because, like, well, they've got the cavalry advantage, so I'm committing, basically. I'm committing everything to the right. They're coming. Hey diddle diddle right down the middle. Okay. If you guys want to send your dudes right down the middle, that's fine by me. It didn't work for Napoleon, and it sure as shit ain't gonna work for you. For those who don't know, as Napoleon got older in his later years, he stopped using a lot of flanking techniques and started just throwing his dudes into the middle of the enemy. And it usually worked because the French infantry were basically a battering ram at that time period. They would march in these massive columns of men who, if you weren't trained and disciplined enough to shoot fast enough, they just overrun you with numbers. But then the British and the the British infantry came along and said, hey, we can fire 3 rounds in under a minute. So, you know, have at it. Unlimber the guns. All right. All right, most of their horses are on the left. Let's see if we can't move our guys around a bit. Yep, here they come. There's their cav. Let's see who wins, mine or yours. We've got them outnumbered. I don't know what good that's going to do, though. Oh, that does a lot, actually. Yeah, my guys are just better on the charge. Yeah, those guys are dead. Bye-bye. Those guys are going to break. They can't fight off grenadiers. All right, we need to start pushing on our end. All right, we broke them. There goes their entire flank. All right, reform, reform. Get the whole unit reforming. Turn the entire flank. I have no doubt some of those guys are going to come back, but it'll buy us a little bit of time. Are both of my cav units in there? Yeah, I guess they are. Shit. Okay. I thought so. Go get him. I knew they'd come back. But we're basically driving them back now. And this actually went a lot better, thankfully. Why even bother? Yeah, why? Why even bother? No. Yeah, we can volley every 20 seconds. Have fun with that. Yep. And also, during this time period, the British used the line formation, where basically every dude in your regiment lined up, you know, in 2 lines, which meant every man could shoot. In a French column, only the first 2 lines could shoot, and it usually wasn't that many. So, I do not understand the point of the pugilist in D&D. If you want to throw hands, that's what the monk is for. I think the pugilist is supposed, like, the problem with the monk is that the monk's, like, yeah, the monk throws hands, but the monk can't really do anything until he gets more key points. He feels kind of restricted, whereas the pugilist kind of fixes that, I guess. I don't know. All right, let's keep marching. We still got that army on our tail, and I want to lose them. Honestly, we may not lose them. They're moving pretty damn fast. Let's see. Yoink. All right. Take that. And you get French Hussars. No, not really. Grenadiers, Fusiliers. We're basically in mid-game now, so of course they're not going to be selling any more recruits or anything. Let's see. All right, we got a new brigade now. Let's see, can we... There we go. And now we can buy those Hussars. Nice. And now we have an entire brigade of cavalry. Now, granted, Hussars are light cav, but hey, it's better than nothing. So yeah, now we've got a, and our 4th brigade could be light infantry or another infantry unit. Right now, I see white flags in your inventory. Yeah, those are Okay, there you go. Need to make sure everything's set up. There we go. So yeah, there we go. Huh, that was weird. Did that just cut the ad? No. Really? Huh. Okay. Guess I missed something. Anyway, back to the game. Hang on. Just to make sure it's fixed. Hang on. There we go. I was saying those are not white flags. Those are captured pennants that we took from the enemy. They're captured banners. All right, we need to keep moving. Hey, happy birthday, Lich King. Alright, we do not have enough money for anything anymore. Oh well, that happens. You can take all these guns. I don't need them. Right. Moving on. Yeah, that army is not going to leave us alone. We'll have to fight them. Oh, that wasn't worth it at all. Okay. We'll fight. It's fine. We'll fight it out. Hi, Meeps. I would ask Zara's opinion on this, but there's no guarantee that she gives enough of a shit to know what we're talking about. That depends. You don't think Zara studies tactics or strategy? She does. A lot. How do me... Yeah, I got... Again, I already gave you my opinion on pugilists. All right, let's see. We have 4 brigades now. Well, kind of. 3 full brigades, 1 quarter brigade. Let's see. That's a lot of cavalry, but this time we have an equal number. Same as before. 3rd Brigade is on the right flank. 2nd Brigade with the cavalry is in the center, waiting to move wherever we're needed. General stays with the artillery because otherwise they have really low morale. Alright, we'll work with this. Cannon up on this hill. Alright, that should do for now. I mean, yeah, that is still tactics. You have to be effective with where you throw the bodies. I mean, if you just throw them all over the place, that doesn't accomplish anything. Better to make use of the bodies you have. That's her point of view. Ooh, yikes. I didn't notice. This is mostly an elite infantry formation. Yeah, British foot, British grenadiers. Yeah, this is a elite foot unit, or an elite foot army. No idea where their cavalry's going right now, though. Wait, I just noticed something. Wait, stop. Stop, stop, stop. Stay right there. I just realized if we move up to where I was going, they'll basically move into the woods, and it'll be impossible to take them out. Actually, pull back again. All right, let's see. All right, the guns off. Get the guns off. And then it's much better this way, because now both forces can cover each other. I still don't know what their cavalry's doing. All right, let's split up then. 2 units go that way, and the hussars and the gendarmes can go the other way. Coolified, maybe it's because some of us haven't done our, done any research on it. I've done the bare minimum of it, but I personally think D&D's gone to shit because Hasbro keeps focusing on forgetting that it's a role-playing game. They keep trying to make it like, they keep worrying about power creep and all this stuff. It's a tabletop role-playing game. It doesn't need to be constantly balanced. If anything, they should be coming up with more interesting subclasses or other stuff to make the game more interesting. Besides, most of the people who complain about, the stuff going on right now, or the people like, some people who've been complaining about Pugilist, you're not one of them, but I have heard some people be really vocal about it. These are the same people who, if you even mention the idea of there being guns in D&D, they freak out saying there's no guns in a fantasy setting. Yes, there are. D&D literally has black powder weapons. That's literally in the rulebook. They have things for black powder weapons. Hell, you could argue and say they have revolver. Like they do. They have black cap revolvers. So, no, there is black powder in D&D. It's just now, modern firearms don't exist, but if you want things like, black powder rifles and stuff like that, they do exist. And that's also true. It is very easy to play the game wrong, so why even bother trying to play it right at this point? It's turning into a cavalry mosh pit. Well, there goes one of my units of cav. There goes another one. Damn it, they got caught up on each other. Crap. Oh well. Oh shit. I just noticed this over here. Crap. Honestly, they seem to be doing okay, though. Oh well, we still need to break that formation. The gendarmes are probably going to break. Oh, no, maybe not. Okay. Damn. Tough SOBs. All right. All right, that broke them, but hey, they did their part. Got him. Next. Yeah, these dragoons just keep getting their morale back so damn quick we can't break them. This ain't good. We'll have to break the infantry then. Yeah, we're basically done. The cavalry's done. Yeah, they're going to chase my cavalry all the way off the battlefield. We can break these grenadiers, though. Yep, that'll work. Shattered. Well done. Oh, wait. The gentleman cavalry formed. Get in there, then. Okay, good. We may just pull. We may pull this off then. The gendarmes reformed, and so did the gentleman cav, so we can make use of that. Charge, you idiots! Get in there! And that's always been the problem with the British cavalry. Even historically, the British cavalry has always been way too gung-ho. They'll ride in, they'll do a ton of damage, but then they don't know when to stop. Rather than breaking off and pulling back, the British heavy cav will run in, smash their way in, and then they'll just keep going and going until they're so exhausted that they get hacked apart by everyone else.
By God's light, I smite you!
And she's gone. Let's see. All right, let's break them. These Irish grenadiers have a bone to pick with the Brits. So of course they're gonna fight like animals. Whew. That could have been a lot worse. Thank goodness. Well, yeah, a lack of discipline on the British heavy cavalry's part, but to be fair, their whole thing is that, remember, the British heavy cavalry would be like nobility or high-ranking individuals. Discipline was like never really gonna be something they were gonna have. Because let's be honest, back during that time period, if you were some rich asshole's son, you were gonna get away with whatever you wanted. So, nah. All right, are they... Ooh! French Royal Cavalry! Thank you! So yeah, we now have a unit of French Royal Cav. Very nice. None of these are very good for you. That works. This 3rd Brigade is mostly Grenadiers. Alright, nice. Unfortunately, we need to patch ourselves up, and there's already an army on our tail, which sucks. So no foraging for a bit while we try to get over here and get whatever this is. Seize their wagon, seize the ordnance. Take the gun. Nice. Got a gun. Piss poor, but it's better than nothing, I guess. There's some encampments up here, too, that we can take. Also one over there. Time is short. We're marching this way. Alright, what do we got? Oh, God! It's these guys again. Right. It's the guys... It's the all-Highland and Grenadier unit with their... with their train of artillery. Alright, fine. Let's go. You see, Jenkins, if we bring enough artillery to burst down the doors of heaven, then what French force would ever stand against us? Quite, sir, quite. I say, is that French cavalry? It appears to be so, sir. Alright. Same as before. Again, they've got the cannon advantage, 4 units of artillery. And but they've got 3 units of cavalry compared to our 4. But the main thing is that they've got a ton of good infantry. British and Highlander units. See, here's the thing. Having cannons is great. But this is not like, you know, early modern period where cannons were like artillery is really accurate. Back then, you know, cannons were great, but they were meant to break up formations, and you needed a lot of them. So having a cannon is nice, but if you've only got 1 cannon unit, that doesn't fix your problem. You need concentrated artillery to break open positions or drive back attacks, which we don't really have right now. Alright, let's see. That said, though, what we still have is our reliable line infantry that have yet to break in battle. That's what surprises me about them. These guys, like, French infantry at this time, like in this game, the French line infantry are, like, morale-wise are some of the weakest. But these guys have held their ground every battle, which continues to surprise me. Alright. But the Grenadiers never let me down. Alright, let's get the cannon in position. And then we can have our sharpshooters kind of defend it. After that, Grenadiers on the right, as usual, to sweep the flank. And our line infantry will just, well, stand there and take it, basically. Also, remember, for those who don't know or didn't see the post on social media or in the Discord, we have a new redeem! If y'all can find it. I'm sure y'all can find it. Demon Goddess found it at the start of stream. But if y'all can find it again, or y'all can find it, it's all yours. It has a 10-minute cooldown, though. There it is. There it is. Alright. Hang on. Where's my thing here? So... there you go. Made Zaruk complete with the Jetstream Sam smirk. You're welcome. And before anyone says anything, they're like, wait, you're a dude. Why do you look like that? Because I look fabulous no matter what, and I look damn good in a maid outfit. Amina tells me so. All right, let's see. All right, the guns are getting unlimbered. Our grenadiers are ready to go. I don't know where their cavalry's going, so... And again, I'm not really worried about the cavalry. I'm worried about the cannon, so... Let's keep the heavy cavalry in the center to counter any moves. But I'm taking the light cav and the gendarmes along with the grenadiers. We're sweeping to the right. What the heck? Where are they? Oh, I see. I see what they're doing. I see. All right, time to go. I'm not going to stand here and just wait for those cannons to kill us. Well, you heard what I said earlier. Maybe you weren't listening. A lot of y'all don't listen. Y'all need to fix that. Like I said, when this model first showed up, I said, if any of y'all are wondering, why do you look like that? And I'm referring to both the outfit and the chest. It's because I look good in anything. I can also change my body to look however I want, and I look good no matter what. Amina tells me so. So yeah, and I look good in a maid outfit. Sue me. Okay, fair enough. So a lot of y'all weren't here for the first explanation. But I guess another explanation would be my model, my choice, and I look good. So, there's your answer. Are they just not gonna do anything? Is that cat girl not gonna do anything? Yeah, okay, now they're moving. Yeah, those Highlanders don't die easy. All right, they're running, but I don't want them to get away. Chase them if we have to. Get in there. All right, time to commit our other cav. Get in there, you idiots. Save that cavalry. Get in there. There's like 3 units of y'all. Get in there. Yeah, and take a rock with you. You can bludgeon them with that. There we go. All right, one of our units did break in melee, but that's all right. All right, let him go, boys. Let him go. All right, that takes care of the cannons. Thank goodness for that. Now, granted, that's always why I want our units to chase for a bit, because if we shatter, that's always better than routing. Yeah, and these guys are surrounded, so yeah, that ain't gonna do good for them. Yep, surrounded and broken. Of course, the Hessian cavalry are coming back. Why wouldn't they? Quick, reform. Countercharge. Yep, there we go. Yeah, enough of that. But yeah, that turned into another mosh pit where dudes were just clashing with each other. But sometimes that's literally what would happen. Armies would basically get involved in these huge, like, fights with each other, and then, well, it would devolve into melee. Time's up on that, so back. All right. So we took some losses there, so I'm gonna well, do I want to do that? Yeah, let's just conscript the reservists. Very good. All right, let's march. I want to get to that encampment and secure it. Then we can set up at this town here, and that'll probably be our last point before that other army comes after us. They do outnumber us, so I'd like to get some more troops, too. If at all possible. Take some supplies and leave. Take some equipment and leave. Take the supplies. Yeah, the Royal 5th Artillery. Very nice. Let's see. Don't really have a lot of stuff to give them, but hey. Better than nothing. All right, let's get over to Termond over here and get ready. Because again, we've got Yeah, 5 days, and then the enemy's coming at 4 days, and then they're 3 days until they're coming after us. 2 days. Man, they're coming fast. All right. Nah, we're good on that kind of stuff. What do I have? Like, I want to sell basic stuff right now. Hang on. Here we go. Accuracy. I wish we had more stuff that boosts more accuracy. Oh, some recruits would be great, actually. I'll take them. Even if they can't do anything, at least they'll be useful to some extent. Good melee. Excellent melee. Excellent charge. Take that. Take these. Good stuff for the cavalry. And then what else do we have? Morale, reload, move speed, morale damage, accuracy. Anything to stat? Ooh, yoink. Bagpipers. Move speed, veterancy gain, reload, cover bonus, max range. Another unit of bagpipers, always good for the charge. Veterancy gain, cover bonus, max range. Anything that boosts like accuracy for cannons. Probably not. I need an accurate weapon. Let's see. Shot damage. That'll work. Okay. Let's get set up real quick. Let's see. You guys can have this this Lycorn. Let's see. That's a I just noticed that's a 12-pounder. Good God. Let's see, you guys. Why did I give you this? You don't need accuracy. You need melee stuff. So here's some bagpipers. You guys need some too. Thing of bagpipers. You've already got one. Good sword for the charge. Another good sword for the charge. Actually, wait, I should probably give you guys better morale. See what else do I have in here? No. Excellent melee. Yeah, that works. Need to make sure that everyone's got at least, you know, some good equipment to their name. Let's see, anything else we can work with here? Oh, right. You guys need this so you don't burn through your shots as quickly. Now we have 2 units of cannons, which are great. Anything else? Few things here and there, but not much. kind of been neglecting the line infantry. That's mainly because they don't really... Their job is just to stand there and take it. Their job is not really to break the enemy. They can if they... I mean, I could if I wanted them to, but I don't really want them to. All I want them to do is just stand there and take it long enough for, you know, our actual guys to come in and take care of everything. Yeah, and these guys need to be sharpshooters. We got to keep giving them experience. Cover bonus, max range. That would be really handy. Oh, wait. You don't have enough money for that. Fine. Yeah, there we go. Don't need this. Don't need this. Don't need this, this. Any of this, really. Take it. Yoink. Alright. What else we got in here? Not really anything good at the staff college I saw, but like... Powder house. Liechtenstein 12-pounder. And a Brunmer 12-pounder. I think we're good with the cannons we have right now. The main thing with cannons is that the bigger you make them, sure, they do more damage, and sure, they might be more accurate, but they take a lot longer to reload. So you need to make sure that your guys have fast reload stuff. And also, it also means that they're going to slow, like, they have to have a lot of stamina, too. Okay, so we got an 8-pounder and a 12-pounder. That's fine by me. Where are those oh, they're over here. Well, you know what? Might as well. Am I literally about to throw a bunch of conscripts that we just got? Am I literally about to throw them to the wolves? Like, literally just give them guns and be like, all right, here you go. You guys are going to be charging the enemy in your first ever battle. Have fun. Am I really about to do that? Yeah, I am. So... Good range, poor reload. Great range, very poor melee. Great melee, poor accuracy. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I'm literally about to take a bunch of recruits who we just conscripted today, basically, and be like, all right, guys, yeah, I'm going to be throwing you with the enemy. Have fun. If you die, you die. But if you live, congrats. And it's only going to get worse. Let's see, no. If you die, you die. If you live, you get paid, yeah? Basically, yes. That is exactly how I'm viewing this. If you die, you die. But if you live, you get paid, and you'll quickly get promoted. So, don't die. And if you do die, make sure you die slowly. So the rest of the guys don't get, you know, well, actually, you can die as quick or as slow as you want. It's not like the guys nearby are going to care. The other grenadiers are not going to give a shit. Let's see. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, and they basically got weapons specifically designed for melee, so they're... Oh, boy. These poor guys are probably thinking, what the hell did we get conscripted for? They're also going to have some trouble keeping up with the grenadiers, but that's okay. You're in the army now. A chaplain. I love how a chaplain boosts morale, because that's exactly what they... Well, I mean, wasn't exactly what their job was, but I mean, you know, if it helps, it helps. All right, let's do it. Yep, we're good. Here they come. We can scout that battlefield first. That'd be great. Yep. Our scouts report the enemy headquarters has mustered its full army and is marching to engage us. Columns move on the main road with advanced guards out. Expect contact within days. Your spare blood or and potential officers, the battle will determine which. Yeah? More recruits! More! More of them! Oh, boy. These poor guys. I'll make my stand here, in the farms. Okay, so they have... Ooh. Okay, they've... So... Oh, boy. Right. So, this is an elite British army. They have 3 full brigades of infantry, 1 brigade of cavalry with 3 cavalry units, and a veteran foot unit, and then a 5th brigade of artillery, and some veteran Hessians. We've only got 4 brigades, but most of our guys are elites, and can probably, well, hopefully, not probably, hopefully turn the tide here. We have a bit of a power advantage, and I think it's because of a lot of our guys are veterans. Main thing we got going for us here is our cavalry advantage, like always. If we can break them with the cavalry, yeah, I shall not ask whether you want to fight. No, I demand it from you. Yeah. That's literally that's probably how I told those recruits. No, it's not whether you want to fight. No, you're going to. And if you live or die, that all depends on how well you do. All right, so numbers-wise, we are outnumbered by the British of all things. That's what's terrifying. We're outnumbered by the Brits. It should be the other way around. However, like I mentioned, we've got the cavalry advantage. If we can break their cavalry, we'll basically have full reign, and we can do whatever we want. If we can get our cavalry in the back lines, as always, and cut up that artillery, yeah, we can win this. But it is going to rely on our infantry basically standing still and taking a beating. I'm trying to find us a good defensive position to hole up in. Actually, this is a good one. The town, the fields, this is good. This is a good defensive position. Hang on. We can make this work. All right, 3rd Brigade with its royal recruits who have never seen a day of action in their lives, but are ready to fight and die if need be. I'm also sending these guys with them. These guys don't have any equipment. We just grabbed them off the road, basically, and we're like, all right, you're with us. Come on. Get on the wagon. You're coming along. Also means our light infantry will get some time here today. Meanwhile, the cavalry also ready to move. And our first brigade, which is our line infantry, who are ready to go. But even these numbers that we're up against are going to make them nervous. My plan is to basically set up and kind of anchor our line. Like, we'll have some guys out front, but then when they start getting pressed, we'll pull back a bit into the town, and there's more defenses here. Like, there's this rock wall we can work with. The town is a natural defense. We can use the hills as well. But we're going to end up giving ground, basically, but that's okay. And if we give ground, I'm looking at, like, the angles and everything. If we give ground, I want the cavalry to swing to the left. They'll have more space to maneuver. All right, let's get the guns into position. Yeah, that'll work. Make sure the general's with the guns. Let's get the Gronzers, who are our sharpshooters. Let's get them up on this hill. They have some defensive fortifications to protect them from cannons, but they can't just sit there and get shot at by cannons. I want them to sit there, take pot shots, and then pull back. 3rd Brigade, which is our Grenadiers, as always, takes the position on the right, along with the Royal Recruits, who are... Well, you're about to have your baptism in blood, gentlemen. I hope it's worth it. But hey, look at it this way. If you survive, you'll basically be Grenadiers in the making. And I'm going to make or break you, whichever comes first. To quote a great man from the Dawn of War series, I'll toughen you up or use you up, whichever comes first. All right, let's move. In this battle, each of you will determine your own survival and that of the man next to you. Kill them first and you'll live. If the man next to you falls, avenge him upon the enemy before you. That's actually a really good quote, Andrea. Holy shit. Grenadiers, form attacking column. The recruits will do the same. They are not meant for this, but oh well. Prepare the cannons! As expected, they're angling their line to try to encircle us. Now it's just a matter of waiting. And there go the cannons. Nice. Well, one of the cannons. The 5th Royal Artillery doesn't have the range. That 8-pound Lycorn doesn't have the range of a 12-pounder. Wait. Let him get close. see what a bunch of men with rifles do to a musketeer unit. Angreifen! Ooh! Shit! That was almost a whole... Wow! Almost 100 men. Dang. Ooh. That sucked for them. Probably going to get one more volley off, and then they're going to have to pull back. Yeah, Feu! Whatever fire is in French. Angreifen is German. Present! Feu! That'll work. All right, pull back, boys. Good job. That'll do, boys. That'll do. Recruits! To the front! But sir, those are veteran men! Yes! And now our men are about to become veterans or die. Yeah, that'll do some damage. All right, pull our horses back. Oh, you guys are stupid. Thanks, idiots. Get him, boys. Hold on. Get in there. Help those recruits. Oh yeah, this is one way for them to get their experience. Just all right, boys. Just go charge that entire line over there. All right, reform, reform, reform. That actually worked out a lot better than I thought, but they're going to come back, so... Alright, march toward the guns. Alright, break our own cavalry off, else they're gonna get jumped. They've been slogging it out over there. they just more and more horses. Stop. Give me a minute. Good grief. Now there go the gendarmes. All right, gentlemen, take the guns. Can you imagine what must be going through the mind of those dragoons as they run away and watch as their guns get slaughtered by a bunch of recruits and Irishmen? Should we go back and help them? Nah, fuck that. Alright, that takes care of the guns, but they'll be back. Alright. Oh, we got an ad. Alright, ad time. Sorry, everybody, I'll be back. And I'm back. But we're not resuming just yet. Okay. Should be good to go now. And one thing I'm noticing already with what's going on is that that British foot guard unit is still basically in good shape while everything else is getting mauled. So let's try to reform a bit. There we go. That'll help. Yep, that'll do it. Got him. Nice job, boys. Very nice job. Sure, the cavalry got driven off, but hey, still did pretty good. Big money. Nice. Got some good stuff too. Now, granted, I want my I don't combined with what I just picked and our field hospital, 30% of our losses will be replaced, which is a big boon. I'd rather lose, 70% rather than 100% of our losses. There we go. Not bad. Nice job, boys. Well done. You're well on your way. Yeah, they did pretty good. Already 2 experience points. It means they leveled up twice. These guys leveled up once. Probably would have done better if they had better equipment, but hey, not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad, kid. Not bad. All right, moving on. Choose your doctrine. Cavalry focus, scraping the barrel, maybe I mean, none of these are really good. That'll work. All resource costs at settlements are down 50%. Good. All right, where are we going? Reinforced Westphalia, again, fighting the British. Reinforced the Rhineland, which means, again, fighting the British. Or raid southern England. Okay, let me explain why this is a bad idea. Okay. Firstly, that song, "Oh Britannia, Britannia rules the waves," is no joke. Britain has one of the most powerful navies in the world. So even if you're somehow able to get me to southern England, you're probably not going to be able to get me back because the ships will get destroyed. Second of all, one thing that every officer knows, or any smart officer knows, is that if you're fighting on someone's home turf, they're going to fight you even harder. Like, they're actually at that point willing to die. Like, they will fight you with fire in their eye, with steel in their eyes and fire in their bellies. They will literally, might take 2 or 3 men to put one dude down. Like, yeah, raid Southern England. That's a funny joke. No, that's incredibly stupid. No, absolutely not. See, reinforced Westphalia. We get chasseurs, which are line infantry. See, melee. Ooh, offensive spirit. Not bad. Drops our accuracy by 10%, but not bad. Reinforce the Rhineland gives us 20% recruitment cost. And then German Grenadiers. They're not Prussian, though. They're German. I think this is better. Being able to get offensive spirit, meaning our Grenadiers and our cavalry do more melee damage. Yes, please. All right, we're going to Westphalia, which is part of the Holy Roman Empire. Act 3, Westphalia. General, the country ahead has been put to the torch. Storehouses are empty. Mills are broken. Wells fouled, and what little remains is dear to buy. Morale will suffer in this barren ground. Proceed with extreme caution. The enemy has posted their best troops here to force a decisive engagement and end the war. Choose your ground carefully and press hard when you find their main body. Beat them here and the war is won. You've carried the army this far. Hold firm and you'll finish it. All right, what we need is food right now. All right, so here's the deal. In the desolation setting, which is the third act of the game, Supplies are now 20% more expensive. Every settlement has been pillaged, meaning it's been damaged and won't have as much stuff. And no settlement is your friend. They are all against you here. We will find no benefit here. So, there's only one solution, I'm afraid. It's one I don't like, but it's the only option we've got. We basically have to burn everything. I hate doing that, but we don't really have much of an option. Yeah, let's see. War profiteering. So items are 15% it's more expensive. Oh, yeah, no. Everything is now 60 to 70% more expensive. Absolutely not. Not unless you're offering me gold or something, which you're not. And you don't have much to sell anyway, but I'll give you what I've got. I've got some good stuff, but it ain't worth that much. Burn it. Yes, sadly, that is what we must do. Put it to the torch. Now, granted, this does mean that the enemy's going to come after us faster because we're burning their shit. Move. Gentlemen, let's make one thing very clear. If we have to pillage and burn through these settlements, you can take what you want. But if I hear any word of you assaulting, killing, or God forbid, putting hands on putting hands on a woman who didn't consent, I'll flog you and shoot you myself. Because surprise, surprise, during this time period, the graping was very common during raids and pillaging of other settlements. Surprise, surprise. So, ooh, good pulls. So yeah, we're gonna be careful. That's why I just said, no. If I catch you doing that or I find out about it, your ass is mine. Let's see if we can take this fort. Ooh, Your Grace, our sudden advance has borne unexpected fruit. The enemy's forward command post was taken by surprise, its staff scattered before an alarm could be sounded. We've captured several officers and recovered maps, dispatches, and ledgers from within. It's a rare and valuable stroke. Orders await your review. Capture the officers and ransom them off. More money. Training ground. Yeah. Do some training for the men. All right, now let's secure this battlefield. That's an encamped army. Let's not mess with them. Let's see. Send a detachment to rescue our allies. Charge into battle. Face a tough enemy field army, but rescue one heavy line infantry regiment. Sure, why not? Some Irish Grenadiers. Always nice. Which means we now have a full unit of we now have a full Grenadier Brigade. That's awesome. Also, you guys got wow, you guys leveled up fast. Okay. Turn you guys into another artillery battalion. And then you guys. You know what? Sure. Another artillery unit. Having an entire brigade of artillery would be nice. Granted, we're going to need an officer. So. Let's see. Yeah, we'll need to get some cannons for these guys. For now, though, we also have to put our Fusiliers in reserve. So I need to get cannons. Lots of them. Well, actually, just two, but I do need to get some cannons. Because now we have a full brigade of artillery, which is awesome, which is definitely going to help out. But we will need to get another officer so we can have someone lead our men. Let's see. Yeah, we'll get you guys a better gun at some point. Yeah, I think we're good for right now. But yeah, we definitely need to definitely going to need to get these guys some better stuff and some better equipment because their morale is, well, it's not really a problem because I keep the general with them at all times to keep the morale up, but still, these guys need some better equipment. Let's see. Yeah, that'll work. Yep. Okay. Cool. We are gonna have to fight this battle though. Now, granted, we do lose a bit of a power, like because we were at 16,000, now we dropped to 14, and that's because because our guys who are about to be sharpshooters are, well, the I want to justify keeping all the classic D&D stuff like casters slinging spells and marshals wearing metal armor while still having guns and cannons and stuff like that. What era of real world warfare should I emulate to achieve that goal? Um, that would be the age of Renaissance. You want the Renaissance era. You want pike and shot. That's the era of pike and shot where where guys still wore heavy breastplates to protect their chest from bullets, and guns were good, but they needed to be fired en masse with each other. Let me put it this way. Here's my take. In D&D, here's the thing. Magic and technology can coexist. And what I think would end up happening is that basically technology, here's how technology works. Yes, the early Italian Renaissance, the age of pike and shot, basically. So here's what I would do. Correct. Yes, coolified. So here's how I view it. In D&D, or in the world of D&D, magic and technology coexist. However, because magic exists, magic becomes that wild card that allows technology to advance in different directions. For example, gunpowder makes armor. In real life, gunpowder made metal breastplates and that kind of stuff obsolete because a bullet would go right through the armor. However, in D&D, armor's not just made out of iron and steel. Iron can be made out of mithril. Armor can be made out of, all kinds of different material. So at that point, maybe, and even if, and with vast armies, because remember, if you want to use pike and shot, you're going to have big armies squaring off with each other or fighting big battles. With that being the case, if you don't have the money to get all this really nice armor, then you can enchant the armor to be more protective, like mithril, which remember, mithril is literally as strong, if not stronger than steel, and weighs half as much in D&D. So now bullets may not do as much to that guy wearing armor. But on the flip side of things, that's not going to stop some egghead artificer from saying, you know what? I don't like that armor being like that. I'm gonna supercharge this black powder so it actually fires more powerfully and can push a bullet through that armor. So again, at this point, here's what I think. Yes, I know how they test it. I know. Yeah, here's how I think they do it at this point. Um, here's how I would make it work in the world of D&D. Guns are expensive. They are. They are going to be expensive. And to basically have a ton of them with good quality ammo and good quality gunpowder is going to be expensive. Meaning that anyone in D&D who's got a gun probably knows how to use it, has, knows how to use it, knows how to take care of it, and is a really crack shot with it. But people like that are probably rare. Like, I'm talking like, for example, a ranger with a gun is probably a marksman who got his skills hunting animals, or maybe he's an assassin that killed people from a distance with his firearm. The point is that guns are they're going to be expensive. Like, if you want to make a lot of them. So big armies, big with powerful lords or nobility are the only ones who are going to be able to afford them. You're probably only going to give them to your best soldiers. So here's what I would say. You know what? Here's a good way of looking at it. Here's what I do. Any Joe Schmo in the D&D world could probably go get a black powder revolver or a pistol or a musket. Muskets are not very accurate. They're a pain in the ass to take care of if you don't know how. And ammunition is probably also pretty expensive. Good ammunition is probably also kind of expensive. But a revolver, same thing. It's not as expensive as a musket, but again, you're still going to have to get one at least. And I mean, well, actually, a revolver would be more expensive than a flintlock pistol. But my point stands. Any Joe Schmo can get a musket or a flintlock pistol. But only the people with money can get rifles or rifled muskets. Because remember, rifled muskets are way more accurate. They do way more damage. And also rifles, well, rifles are expensive. Rifling at that time period was super expensive. Rifles require way more maintenance. You really got to know how to take care of them. You have to be able to clean them regularly. You got to be able to make sure that your ammunition is really good quality, because if that rifle gets jammed, that's going to take some time to clean. So only the best of the best or someone with a lot of money is going to have rifling. And remember, rifling, here's the thing about rifling, or with rifled muskets or rifles, is that suddenly I don't give a shit how good your armor is, because that armor's only protecting your chest. This is a rifle. I can put that round anywhere on your body that's not covered in armor. I can put a round through your face. I can put a round through your shoulder. I can put a round through your kneecap. And here's the most important part of this time period. Remember, and this is the same thing for D&D too. Here's the thing. There's a big difference between using cure wounds to heal somebody who got cut by a sword and cure wounds on a dude who just got his kneecap fucking exploded from a musket ball, or sorry, from a mini ball or something, like from a rifled musket round. Yeah, no, that dude's kneecap probably just exploded, and either that knee is he's either gonna lose that leg, or he's gonna be laid up for a long ass time getting constant treatment. And one more thing. Sorry, Minier. Sorry. Also, one more thing. Also, it's going to be painful as hell, because that's the other thing about it. I think people forget this about this period of warfare, is that if you get shot, no one's coming to get you. Like, during the age of line warfare, or, pike and shot, if you fall over and get hit, no one's coming to get you. Like, you either need to crawl your way off the battlefield, or you need to wait till the battle's over, because no one's coming to get you. So, with that being the case, what you might do at that point is that if battles like that are common in the D&D world, you probably have spellcasters or people who know magic running around trying to save people. And then you have to ask yourself another question. Is it considered morally right in this D&D world? Is it considered morally acceptable to shoot healers? Just like in the real world, we have rules against shooting medics. In the D&D world that you're describing, would you be allowed to shoot a healer? Like, are you allowed to shoot a cleric, a priest? Are you allowed to shoot them? Like, or better yet, are you allowed to attack them? That's the main thing. Like, if you're fighting a battle and you see a cleric trying to take a guy away to heal him, what do? Do you let him go, or do you shoot him? Like, yes, they are, but again, here's the thing. Gun beats sword. Gun beats spear. Gun beats bow. The whole thing about guns is the reason they became more and more popular is because they became easier to use. It takes so long to train someone how to use a sword, to use a spear, to use a bow, any of that stuff. But a gun? Yeah, that doesn't take a lot of training. Practice maybe, but not a lot. But at this day and age where dudes just have to line up shoulder to shoulder and shoot people, all you needed was discipline and a good bit of practice and train practice, but not nearly as much as it took to use a melee weapon. So, no, I don't care how tough that paladin over there thinks he is, praying to whatever god he believes in. This rifle shoots a 75 caliber ball and it's going to go right through that plate no matter what. So, remember, your god may protect you from unholy forces, it doesn't protect you from your own stupidity. But that's my take on it anyway. Um, let's see here. Yeah, we're about to fight a battle. I'm trying to think. Do we have? Let me look over everything. We're basically good to go at this point. Need to get these guys some. These guys need to get some more experience and level up a bit more. But they're basically as good as they're going to get. Um, yeah, our cavalry's good. The cavalry or the cavalry's fine. The line infantry's fine. Um, but the cannons, oh god, the cannons. We've got two proper cannons, but everything else is piss poor. So we need to keep the general close. We also need to get an officer who can use like I'd like it better if we could get an officer who's good with artillery, because this guy's better at infantry command, so he'd be better with light infantry or skirmishers. We need an artillery commander. So we'll have to find one after this. The Battle of Beckham. Okay, it's an wait, these are Hanover. Oh, Hanoverians. Okay. So these are not British foot. These are not British infantry. These are Hanoverians. They're from Hanover, the part of Germany that was basically part of the British Crown. So yeah, these are the Hanoverian Corps, but that's British artillery. So we got to be careful. Yeah, we can do this. No problem. Okay, so kobolds are the ones who invented firearms. Okay, well in that case, um, I'm guessing kobolds are really smart in your universe because it takes a lot of smarts and a lot of manufacturing ability to create firearms. So if that's the case, I imagine like I don't know how many kobolds are in your world, but if there's a lot of them, that and it takes a lot of expertise to make a firearm. Every gun's probably either an heirloom, an artifact, or some kind of pristine creation that that you don't want to get broken. But again, that's your decision. Anyway, that's kind of interesting that the kobolds made the firearms in your universe. A lot of people usually say the dwarves made firearms, but whatever. Let's see. All right, we're not going to beat them in the artillery fight. They've got they got way better guns. But what we have is an entire group of grenadiers and an entire group of cavalry basically. Yeah, we can do this. Not a problem. Trying to think of a good place to put our cannons. Thankfully, we only have cannons and not howitzers. Cannons don't need a direct line of sight. Howitzers do. Um, you know what? This will work, I think. You can set up here. You can set up there. You set up here. And then you set up here. Yeah, and let's have all the artillery unlimber. Thankfully, this is not like Total War where our guys can shoot each other, thank God. And then the general can stay here to motivate the men. All right, let's see. 1st Brigade, or sorry, 3rd Brigade to the right. Form into attacking columns and prepare to advance. 2nd Brigade stays in the center to counter wherever their artillery go or where their own cavalry goes. Hmm. Sorry, I was looking at the map for a second. I was trying to think. All right. Nope. First Brigade in the center and the left. Hmm. All right. Third Brigade, advance. Head for the hills in that wooded area and get ready to move. First Brigade to the center of the battlefield. Take the farm and that farming and that small village. We'll set up there. Well, some of us will. I want these guys to stay here to protect our cannons. That does leave a huge gap in our center, but that's what the cavalry's for. The cavalry can fill that gap if anyone tries to exploit it. All right, let's think. Let's see what happens. Looks like they're going to try to. Why are they angling like that? Hmm. All right, here they come. All right, they are trying to concentrate on the right. Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah, those cannons just messed us up. Hang on. I cannot lose the third. My third brigade just got pounded. Hang on. Yeah, take cover. Like that was nasty. Yeah, that cannon, that ensemble of cannons of theirs is going to be a problem. I need to get my cavalry across the river because we've kind of the problem is with this terrain is that it kind of prevents our cavalry from doing much. All right, time to commit the grenadiers. All right, we've chased their cavalry off. Now, let's see what we can do. Wait, shit. I see what they're trying. Hang on. We got to divert. There we go. They were getting kind of close to our defenses. There we go. That'll help. All right, come on, boys. Get the cavalry, get the artillery. And just like that, the grenadiers sweep the field, running like horses themselves. There we go. All right, catch your breath, boys. You've done enough. I'm just going to let the cannons do the work now. Yeah, because the cannons are messing these guys up morale-wise. Yeah, no, this is done. Veterans are great, but even veterans aren't just going to stand there and get hit by artillery. Like that. There we go. Well done. Once again, the French cavalry saves the day, along with the grenadiers. Gonna take that money and that ammunition. There we go. All right. Let's see. Got more battlefields to search. Got a level 2 officer. You better be worth it. Morale damage received minus 10%. Ooh, yeah, you'll work for an artillery commander. Welcome aboard. Here are your men. Do a good job, and maybe they'll actually respect you. There we go. All right, we've got some money, so let's see if we can go find some cannons for sale. We need to check these battlefields too as we're marching around. Nah, I'm not doing a duel. Duels are stupid. All right, let's check here. It's just they don't have a foundry? Looks like the foundry's been damaged. Great. Max range. Range is nice, but I need accuracy stuff for the cannons. See, morale, melee. Ooh, yes. See. Is there anything in here for cannons? Oh yeah, staff commissar. Always good. Take it. Again, range is nice, but I need accuracy for the cannons. Take those ramrods, though. All right, there is no foundry here, which sucks because that means that, well, no foundry means no cannons. No cannons means we can't equip those guys the way I wanted. So we'll have to move on and look around, look elsewhere. The accuracy and move speed, nah, didn't really help us much. You guys needed these. There we go. That'll help. Speed up that reload a bit, huh? All right, where's that thing in here that boosts stamina? Pretty sure we had. Thought we had some. Well, wait. Yeah, we do. Yeah, always want to give your gun crew stamina because if they start running low on stamina, their reload rate tanks and they won't be firing very fast anymore. Let's see, so. Oh, wait, did I not buy them? Yeah, there. There, that'll help with your stamina. That'll also. Oh, wait. Yeah, that'll help with your stamina. Uh, there you go. That'll help that. Hmm. Yeah, I think this will do for right now. I do have canister shot, but I mean, no cannons. Like with piss poor cannons, it doesn't really matter. All right. Maybe. Actually, wait. Well, sadly, you've given me what I need, but yeah, sorry. Oh, someone came to your defense. Okay, well, yeah, we need to fight this one out, don't we? Okay, this will probably be the last fight for the night. I mean, I guess it's good to see the British are trying to stop us from burning places, but I mean, like, you know. All right, let's do this. All right, what do we got? Hanoverians and British soldiers. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So most of this army, they got no cannons here. This army is primarily is mostly infantry. Elite infantry, but infantry nonetheless. They've got some cavalry, but we still outnumber them 4-3. And with no cannons, that basically gives us free reign to do whatever we want. Naturally, though, we got to get the cannons into position first. Grenadiers on the right. First Brigade takes the center, as always. Second Brigade takes the left this time. We're going to have our Fusiliers up front, because they can take this little position and basically do some take some snipe shots at people. And then as for the cannons, need to get them up on this hill. All right. So, Fusiliers. Let's set up here. No, better idea. Let's set up right here. Then I can have 3rd Brigade with the Grenadiers actually move over here. They've got no cannons. So, like I said, so this is good. Take the right. 1st Brigade comes to the center, not only to protect our our sharpshooters, but also to give them a place to fall back to. So I'm going to spread them out a little bit. There we go. Seconds on the left, because most of the enemy is going to be coming from the left anyway. And then we need to get the cannons up on the hill. All right, let's go. I am wondering, like, yeah, they're angling their line. Perfect. I need to get you guys some shoes or something. These guys are way outrunning you. All right, no cannons, like I said, means that they can't really stop us from getting into good positions with that cavalry. It's Hessian cav, which is not a bad thing, but they're not tough. I mean, they're not good on the charge. They're really good in melee, though. We definitely don't want to get pinned down by them. But if we can blitz them with a charge, it won't matter. Let's see. All right. Let me think. Yeah, they're just taking their time getting into formation. Can we? You know what? All right, with 10 minutes left, fine. All right. Okay. All right. There. Okay. For the last bit of the stream, why not? Let's see. Back to it. Yeah, let's split the cavalry in half. One side goes to the left, the other to the right. Normally, I prefer to use the cavalry as like a mailed, as a like a mailed fist to punch into the line. But the problem is that they all get bunched up. They're easy to pick apart. So as we've seen, so better to split. I mean, I've got the advantage, so why not split up a bit? All right, here they come. And they're taking their sweet time, aren't they? All right, here they come. They're coming right at us. And are ignoring the cavalry. Uh, nope, wait. There's a unit reforming to fight the cavalry. Wondering what was happening over there. And I don't want the Fusiliers shooting yet. We're going to wait till those guys get really close. We may have rifles, but again, it takes them a long time to reload, so got to make those shot count. That shot count. Now shoot. Ooh, that did a lot. But that's a grenadier unit, so we need to pull back. We've got them. All right, they broke the cavalry on the left, but that's okay. Time for the trap card. And just like that, the right flank collapses. Their right flank, that is. Yep, the right flank just collapsed. The right flank cannot hold, and it didn't. Fusilier! It! Yeah, it didn't work out for you, did it? Hey, Keldrick. 40 months, where did the time go? Oh, it goes and goes and goes. Usually how it works out, you know. Yep, just like that. The entire line basically breaks. They're done. Stick a fork in them, they're done. Not all that surprising when you watch your entire right flank disintegrate in like under a minute. Yeah, they probably don't feel like sticking around after that. Speaking of which, blitz them. Yeah, you're done. These guys are done. Yep. Don't mess with the Eilish. You too, Keldrick. Thank you, buddy. And with that, like again, and they probably thought they had something when the cavalry broke and retreated, and then I just started turning their entire flank. Man, if you get some good grenadiers, they can just bully everyone, and I love it. Uh, yeah, that works. Nice. We've gotten a lot of good stuff from this. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh, right. Burning this place. All right. Move on. Cover the equipment. Tend to the wounded. Always tend to the wounded if you can. The reservists are more important than the weapons. There we go. More reservists. Still need to find 2 more battlefields to get that authentic. Oh, shit. Really? Ugh. Well, we'll save here. There we go. Yeah, we'll have to pick up next time because I have hit my 3-hour time limit. Sorry that we can't do the long streams anymore, but hey, I'm working now, so, you know, it happens. Why am I bald? There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. So yeah, that's going to do it for now. We are going to go raid someone, so stick around for a second. Thank y'all for sticking around and watching. I know this game's not for everyone, but those who did show up, it means a lot. Let's see. Yeah, I am too, Keldrick. Though, okay, actually, before I go, don't leave yet. Let me tell you guys what's going on with work exactly. So, yesterday was my first day, okay? So, I get up at 5:30 in the morning. I get dressed, I go, and I get there around a little before, like 20 minutes before 7. Because here's the thing, nobody told me who to report to, nobody told me what time to report in, and nobody told me what building to go to. So I just guessed off what, I figured what was going to happen, went there, got my stuff, and then I got upstairs at around 7 o'clock, spent the next hour going around asking who was what and where I was supposed to go. The people I work with show up at 8 and they're like, oh, So we don't have any of your stuff yet. We knew you were coming, and we've ordered your stuff. That was a lie. They actually ordered it yesterday. They're like, so that's going to take some time. So just, you've got some onboard training to do, right? And I'm like, yes. And they like, yeah, well, go home. They literally said, so they were like, go home, do your onboarding training, check in with us every morning because we will let you know, like, if we want you to come in and be part of a meeting or do something like that, or if we have stuff for you to do. But right now, we don't have your stuff yet. So just go home, do your training and all that stuff. So here's the thing. Here's why this is happening, I think. So I can't tell you what company I'm with, but the company that I'm employed by is not the same company I'm working with. I am I am employed by a company who is the subcontractor to another company. Okay? So, and they literally told me on site, they're like, "Oh, you're the sub. Like you're the substitute." Literally, it's my company subbing me in on their contract because they need another person basically. So what this basically means is that I'm an employee for one company working for another company. And so this is where, yeah, fuck's sake. Yeah, it is frustrating, but here's where it gets interesting. And I feel like there's going to be some I feel like there's going to be some hiccups in the future because of this. So let me explain. Here's the thing, because I'm employed by another company, that technically means I'm one of their employees. Therefore, I go off their schedule, their pay, and all that, their rules and all that kind of stuff. But I'm working alongside a team that belongs to another company. So here's where the trouble comes in. So what this basically means is that I have to, let's say, for example, let's talk about my hours. Like, what are my hours I'm supposed to work? Okay. So the company that I'm a part of, they're like I'm employed by their typical workday, not for everyone. No, no, not for everyone, but it's just in their handbook. Their workers usually come in and start working anywhere between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. And then their hours go from 6, usually like if we're going off the earliest thing, it's from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's their workday, basically. But again, your mileage may vary depending on when you come in. So with that being the case, that basically means that if I wanted to, I could come in at 7 in the morning at the building I've been assigned to and start working. But here's the tricky part. The team I'm a part of doesn't come in till 8. So that basically means that if they come in at 8, they probably get to leave at 5 because again, take an hour for lunch basically. I don't know. So there's that. Meanwhile, me, I could come in at 7, work, and have a working lunch. For those who don't know, a working lunch is where you basically, if you were supposed to get an hour for lunch, you work through it. So you eat while you work. Lots of companies don't let you do that. But other companies like this one that I'm a part of that do contracting, they're flexible. They don't care. They're just like, get your 8 hours. We don't care how you do them. But see, that's the tricky part. See, the company I'm a part of would be okay with that, but I'm not sure if the company that I'm going to be working with will. And as you can also imagine, you don't really like you. It kind of okay. So how do I? Before I explain this, let me kind of go over the fact that I don't like office politics. Okay, office politics is slang for stuff going on in the office, employees' views of each other, that kind of stuff. So here's the problem. I'm already seen as the substitute guy to to these people I'm working with, okay? So imagine if you will that their hours are from like 8 to 5, maybe 8 to 4, I don't know, probably 8 to 5. And I come in and I'm like, "Oh, I start at 7. I'll be here an hour before you guys because that's when my hours start." No big deal there, right? Because I mean, they're just like they'll probably be like, "Okay, your hours are earlier than ours." Okay, but then let's say it's 3 o'clock and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gone because I can take a working lunch. I know you guys probably can't, but I can. So bye. Like that. Do you see the problem there? Even if it's allowed by the company I'm a part of, they may not like that. And suddenly everyone on the team suddenly thinks, man, fuck that Zaruk guy. He comes in early and gets to leave early. What the hell? Now, granted, any sane person would just be like, well, duh. That's how he works. He comes in early and therefore gets to leave early. If you want to leave early, then come in earlier. But they're probably not going to do that. So more than likely what I'll end up doing is work 7 to 4, not 7 to 3. If I can make it fly, I'll do 7 to 3 because that gives me more of an afternoon to actually do stuff. But if not, it'll just be 7 to 4 and I'll just be like, "You know what? That's fine. I had my lunch. That's my 8 hours basically. I'm gone now because my company says I can work early and therefore leave early." And again, it's an hour difference, you know? So, like, what can they really say? But again, we'll see. I have to ask my on-site manager how what their view on things is. I'm gonna have to email her in the morning and basically be like, I just wanted to inform you that my hours, the company that I work for, our hours may be different compared to yours. Like I can so I was hoping I could come in at 7, because that's we're allowed to start at 7, and the building that they're all in opens at 7. Hell, I saw people come in earlier than that. I heard some people came in at 6. I'm not doing that. I'm not crazy. But the point stands that I have to walk that line between being professional, but also being like, being professional, but also being like, hey, I'm not employed by your company. I'm employed by my own company. And they say they don't care how I get my 8 hours. So if I come in at 7, work through lunch, that means I get to leave at 3. But if I don't do that, like maybe they don't want, like, I'll have to ask if a working lunch is a thing. If it's not, fine, I'll get off at 4. And I mean, that's the thing. I have to basically figure out, are they going to let me do that? Or do I have to play ball and basically be like, okay, fine, I won't come in at 7, even though I could. And I won't leave at 4, even though I should be able to. I hope that's not the case. Most contractors are really flexible. So they might be more rigid, that because they're their own company. They might have more rigid hours. I don't know. But I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping they're just going to be like, okay, those are your hours. You're only substituting in with us. So, that's fine. And hey, the way I look at it is can you imagine an employee that comes in and who's on your team who comes in an hour early? Like, just imagine being like, oh, hey, Zaruk's going to be there before we're there. Maybe we can get him to get the jump on something, or maybe he can start something. Yeah, I can. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, I don't even know when I'm going to the office because they haven't gotten my stuff yet. One of the guys on the team even said, "Yeah, when I was started here, it took a few months to get all my stuff. For you, it's probably going to take might take a week or a few weeks." I'm still getting paid. Like, I'm still getting paid. I'm still doing my training. I'm still doing my onboarding stuff. I'm sitting at my computer from like 7 to 3 or 4, basically looking at my computer screen, waiting for people to contact me, waiting for updates, waiting for all that stuff. So as far as I'm concerned, like, I'm still working. And even my company is like, yeah, you're still working. So yeah, that's granted, that does not mean I'm gonna, we're gonna do streams at 2 o'clock or anything, because I may have to go back to the office at any point. So from now on, the streams are gonna go back to what they were before: 3 hours on the week during the week, and 4 hours on the weekend. And if things get too hectic or I get too exhausted from work, we may go back to streaming, just a few days a week, like 3 days a week, well, 4 days a week, 3 during the weekday, and then on Saturday. But we'll see. Cross that bridge when we get to it. In the meantime, let me find us someone to raid. Let's see here. Who can we go say hi to? You know what? Hmm. Yeah, you know what? Let's go say hi to Coco Mocha. They are playing. It's their first time doing a playthrough of Skyrim. Very nice. I wonder if they've got mods installed. Probably not, but hey, we'll see. Anyway, let me get this set up. One day, one day I will have almost 2K viewers like she does. But oh well, we'll see. Some people like, who knows? I know I'm not like, the female VTuber and everything that people want to see, but hey, you guys like what I do and I like what I do, so that's all that matters. As always, it's been a privilege and pleasure to entertain all of you. I hope you had a great time. I've been Zaruk Windcaller, and remember that the memories we make in life, good and bad, make us who we are. Don't trade him for anything. Love you guys. See you all tomorrow. Bye bye.